What if you could earn Bitcoin every single day without ever touching a mining rig, without paying an electricity bill, and without needing to spend $10,000 up front? That's the pitch from GoMining, a platform that lets you own real Bitcoin hash rate through an NFT pointed at actual data centers, paying out real BTC daily. But here's what I want to know. Does it actually pencil out? Because a lot of things sound good until you look at the real numbers. So today, we're going to look at exactly that. The fees, the payouts, the break-even timeline, and what a real user with over $1,200 invested is actually earning right now in April 2026. No hype, just the math. Let's get into it. GoMining calls itself a Bitcoin super app, and once you dig into the feature set, you can see why they use that label. But at the core of everything is one thing: digital miner NFTs. When you buy one of these NFTs, you're not buying a piece of software or a point system. You're buying ownership of a specific amount of hash rate that's tied to real physical hardware in real data centers. GoMining operates facilities in Heron Shore, Washington, Mesquite Bluff, Texas, and Silver Fox Run, South Carolina. These aren't theoretical machines. They're running, they're mining, and they're directed at the Binance pool. Rewards are calculated using the FPPS method, which is full pay per share, which is publicly verifiable. You can cross-check what you should be earning against what the pool is actually paying out. So what's a digital miner NFT exactly? Think of it like buying a slice of a mining operation. 1 terahash per second, or TH per S, is the standard unit. The smallest miners start at around $22 to $26 per terahash, so you can technically get started for under $30. Scale up, and the price per TH tends to come down slightly. There's an entry-level configuration around $664 that puts out roughly $68 a month in gross rewards. Once you own the NFT, you're in the ecosystem. Your first Bitcoin reward hits within 24 hours, and your daily BTC earnings sit in your account and can be withdrawn anytime. There's no lockup period, no vesting, no staking cliff. You earn it, it's yours. The NFTs are also tradable. You can list them on the GoMining internal marketplace or on OpenSea. That matters because it gives you an exit option if you ever want to liquidate your position rather than just waiting for break-even. That's actually a meaningful distinction from other cloud mining setups where your contract expires and you're just done. Now, the platform has passed the 5-year mark and sits at over 5 million registered users. The total hash rate across the platform is 15.1 million terahashes per second. For context, that's not a toy operation. That's the kind of scale that takes real infrastructure and real investment to maintain. The track record matters here. There are cloud mining platforms that launched and disappeared inside 18 months. GoMining is not that. Let's get into the real numbers, because this is the part that actually tells you whether this is worth your money.
The most useful data point I found for this video comes from a Reddit user, handled Jana Auskassel, who posted their real GoMining numbers in April 2026. This person invested $1,208 and built up 54.81 terahashes of total hash rate. At a Bitcoin price around $77,000, they were earning approximately 2,547 satoshis per day. That comes out to roughly $1.97 per day in gross BTC rewards. Now here's where it gets real: maintenance fees. GoMining charges a daily maintenance fee that covers electricity and service costs for running the hardware. That fee is unavoidable. It's what funds the actual operation. The net figure this user was seeing, after applying fee discounts we'll get into in a minute, was around 69 cents per day in net maintenance cost. So gross reward of about $1.97 minus about 69 cents in net fees leaves a net daily profit somewhere between 28 cents on the low end and about $1.28 on the higher end, depending on how aggressively they're using the GMT token discount. At $1,200 invested and roughly $1 a day in net earnings, the estimated APY works out to around 38%. The estimated break-even is approximately 31 months, call it 2.5 to 3 years. That's not a passive income slot machine. That's a long-duration BTC accumulation strategy with a yield component. If you go in expecting to double your money in 6 months, you'll be disappointed. If you go in understanding that you're slowly stacking sats at a rate that outpaces just holding cash, it starts to look more interesting. There's another user in that same thread with 245 terahashes, earning proportionately more, consistent with what you'd expect since the model scales linearly with hash rate. So where do the fees actually come from, and how do you reduce them? This is the part most reviews gloss over, so let's actually explain it. The net reward formula GoMining uses is pool reward minus the quantity of electricity plus service multiplied by 1 minus any discounts you've earned. That discount piece is the key lever. There are 3 main discount mechanisms. The biggest one is paying your maintenance fees in the GoMining token, GMT, instead of BTC. If your GMT wallet balance covers at least 360 days of forward maintenance, you unlock up to a 20% discount on fees. That's the single most impactful cost reduction available on the platform. If you're investing any meaningful amount, it almost certainly makes sense to hold some GMT to capture this. The second discount layer is VIP tier, which is purely based on how much hash rate you own. It starts at Bronze 2, which gives you 0.3% off, and scales up to Elite tier at 6% off. It's not enormous at the lower tiers, but as you accumulate hash rate, it compounds with the GMT discount. The third is a service streak discount. If you log in and claim your daily streak, you earn an additional 0.3% off per day, capping at 3% after 10 consecutive days.
This one requires actual daily attention, so it's a bit of a behavioral tax. Whether it's worth building into your routine depends on your investing style. Stacked together, the GMT payment discount, VIP tier discount, and streak, an active user can meaningfully compress their effective maintenance cost. But here's the honest caveat. If you decide to pay maintenance in BTC rather than GMT, you lose the 20% discount entirely. And if GMT's price drops significantly, you're paying more GMT tokens to cover the same dollar-denominated fee. So your real net earnings are a function of 3 variables: BTC price, mining difficulty, and GMT price. All 3 are moving targets. That's the risk picture you need to sit with before you put money in. Let me spend a minute on GoMining tokens specifically, because it's not just a fee payment mechanism. GMT is a deflationary token. The supply decreases over time by design, which is structurally different from inflationary utility tokens. It trades on major exchanges and is currently sitting around 30 cents. Beyond fee discounts, it unlocks additional ecosystem perks. But the main reason you'd hold it as a GoMining user is the maintenance discount. Think of it less as a speculative asset and more as a cost management tool within the platform. Now, beyond mining, GoMining has been building out what they legitimately can call a super app, so let's walk through what's actually available. Simple Earn lets you earn BTC yield on your crypto balance. No lockup, no minimum holding period. If you're already accumulating BTC from your mining rewards and don't want to just let it sit idle, Simple Earn is a straightforward way to put it to work. The GoMining card gives you up to 5% crypto cashback on everyday spending. It also throws in a 1 terahash bonus miner when you sign up, which is a small but real addition to your hash rate position. Travel booking through the platform earns up to 4% cash back, so if you're booking hotels or flights anyway, there's a practical reason to route it through GoMining. Instant Funds is interesting for longer-term holders. It lets you use your BTC as collateral to borrow USDT or USDC with a 30-day repayment window. So if you have an accumulated BTC position and need liquidity without selling, this is a non-custodial-ish way to access it without triggering a taxable event. There's also GoMining Academy, which is free crypto education. And then there's GoBTC Pay, which launches June 19, 2026. This is a Bitcoin payment protocol with instant confirmation, on-chain settlement, and 0 fees for users. If that actually works as described, it's a genuinely useful addition to the payment rails landscape, and it hints at where GoMining is trying to go beyond just cloud mining. Okay, let's talk honestly about whether this is actually worth it, because this is the section I'd want to hear if I were watching this video myself. The case for GoMining: you get real Bitcoin exposure with a daily yield component, real verifiable infrastructure, no hardware headaches,
and a liquid NFT you can sell if you want out.
The platform has 5 years of operating history and 5 million users. The FPPS payout method and Binance Pool integration mean you can actually verify what you should be earning. And 38% APY at current prices, while it assumes BTC and GMT prices hold, is not a made-up number. It's what a real user with real money is experiencing right now. The case against: your break-even is around 2.5 to 3 years. Maintenance fees are real and ongoing, and they don't stop if BTC dumps. If Bitcoin drops significantly, your dollar-denominated rewards shrink while your fee obligations stay relatively fixed, which means your net returns compress, maybe to zero or below in a serious bear market. And you're exposed to GMT price risk on top of BTC price risk if you're optimizing fees. This is not a simple bet. It has multiple moving parts. Compare that to just buying Bitcoin directly. If you put $1,200 into BTC and hold it, you have zero fees, zero maintenance drag, and full exposure to BTC price appreciation. You don't earn daily yield, but you also don't have the fee structure eroding your position. GoMining makes sense if you believe in BTC long-term and want to accumulate more of it over time through yield. It does not make sense if you're trying to maximize pure BTC price upside with no friction. Who is this for? Someone who's already comfortable with crypto, wants ongoing BTC accumulation rather than a one-time buy, has the patience for a multi-year break-even, and is willing to actively manage the GMT discount to keep fees reasonable. It's also worth considering if you want exposure to BTC yield without setting up a validator node or dealing with DeFi complexity. Who is it not for? Anyone expecting quick returns, anyone who won't hold through volatility, or anyone uncomfortable with the idea that fees could temporarily exceed mining revenue if the market moves against you. Also, probably not ideal as your only crypto position. It works better as a yield layer on top of an existing BTC thesis. If you want to explore it, the link to GoMining is in the description. That's gomining.com via my referral link. Using it doesn't cost you anything extra, and it helps support the channel. So if you found this breakdown useful, I'd appreciate it. But do your own math first. Pull up the fee calculator on their site, plug in your hash rate target, model a few BTC price scenarios, and see if the break-even works for your situation. If you have questions about the fee structure or the NFT marketplace mechanics, drop them in the comments. I read everything. And if you want me to follow up in 3 or 6 months with updated numbers from this exact $1,200 position, let me know. That would make for a genuinely useful follow-up video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.